I mentioned GolfSixes before. You obviously played in it. What did you think of the event? Do you think it's something that's here to stay? Did you like it? Did you not like it?
Oh, I loved it. You know, I really embraced it. I think for me, I don't think it was personally targeted to the golf fans in general. You know, I don't think it was, you know, the people who already watch golf, you know, it probably wasn't for them. The reason why that event took place was to bring new people in, young people in, to show them golf was fun, and it is a laugh, and you know, you can have fun with it, and I think it did achieve that. You know, I think you need the right type of players to go in there with the right attitude. You know, obviously, you know, I didn't personally take it. I didn't, you know, take it as we were playing a tournament. I literally just went and had fun. You know what I mean? Me and Woody were just having a good crack the whole way around. I think that's the way you've got to take it, obviously, and you know, I think obviously at the end there, if you got to the final, obviously it would become a bit competitive. But again, I thought it was a fantastic week. I thought it brought in a lot of new people to the game, and hopefully, you know, a lot of younger people in, and that we can introduce to the game. I mean, I think any way we can get young kids involved in the game, even in a small capacity, I think, you know, it's good for the game, and we can slowly introduce them into obviously playing golf as they do normally.
And another thing the European Tour have announced last week was the Austrian tournament next year is going to be called the Shot Clock Masters. I mean, how do you feel about that? Are you going to go over and play? Are you excited about this 40 seconds to have a...
Definitely. I think whoever the guy that finishes is going to win there, you know, without getting penalised. I think, you know, again, I think the tough thing they'll have is obviously all the guys that are quick are going to enter, and all the guys that are slow are not. I think that'll be the tough thing, because I get what I understand what they're trying to do, and again, I think it'll be a great spectacle. I think again it'll be fun for the fans to watch, have a shot clock on everyone and things like that. But in terms of curing slow play, the only way we're going to do that is if we can actually have a referee with every group, which is difficult. You know, obviously manpower to do that is impossible. You know, I'd love to see it. You know, if it was like that, that wouldn't bother me a jot. I know I'm quite quick. I get to the ball, hit it, and carry on. So for me, I quite like the idea of it. I'm sure a few guys have got other opinions about it, that they don't really want to do it. But personally, I don't think golf should take 5.5 hours to get around 18 holes. I think that's a bit of a joke. So
are there players that you see that you're paired with them and you just think, oh, for crying out loud, this is going to be...
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you do get that, and you know some guys' routines are longer than yours, and you're going to have to, you know, sort of slow down. Like again, if I was playing with a guy that I knew generally was a slow routine, I'd literally I'd walk as slow to the ball as possible, knowing for a fact that he's going to take probably a minute, 2 minutes longer than I am, and my caddy would be there ready for me, and I'd just pull the club and go. So there's ways of combating it, but obviously the best way of combating it is if we all played at the same pace, you know. But the difficulty of it is, you know, obviously some people feel like they play better when they're more meticulous with things, and other guys feel like they play better when they're just on the go. So I'm really, you know, in terms of where we go with it, I think until we can actually, like I said, have a ref monitoring every group, I mean, that's the only way we can go. I mean, I think reasonable time for a tournament round is 4.5 hours, even anywhere, you know, even if it's a long golf course, I think that's sufficient enough. I mean, you play with your mates round a golf course and you can get round in 3 hours. So I think 4.5 hours is enough, to be fair.
Sure. While I've got you on the state of the game stuff, I mean, where do you sit on the debate about the ball? Does it go too far, or are we hitting the ball too far these days? Would you like to see the ball reined back in? I don't
think we're hitting the ball too far. I think technology's obviously moved it on a lot. I mean, you take Valderrama last week, you know. I shot level par and finished in top 20. So I think it's the course designers that are, for me, that are making it seem like we're hitting the ball further, because they're literally designing golf courses where you are literally having to lump it as far as you can, and then we're going again. To make a golf course difficult, you don't need to make it long, because it doesn't matter if we've got, you know, we are better with the shorter clubs, obviously, but we're just as good with the long irons. So it's not going to make a difference. The only way you're going to make a golf course difficult is make greens smaller, fairways tighter, a little bit of rough, and then, funnily enough, the scoring goes down. You know, you look at, again, perfect Valderrama, I mean, 11 under one, 11, 12 under one. I mean, it's a perfect winning score, that, you know, and and that's probably the shortest golf course we play all year. So I think in terms of, you know, making it difficult for the tour pros, I think it's not all about let's have a 7,700 yard golf course, because we play that in Dubai and 20 under wins every year, so it has no effect. So I think personally, you know, I think we need to go back to more old school, smaller greens, you know, make it difficult for us, tuck the pins a little bit more, a little bit of rough, tight fairways. Suddenly the scores come down, the cuts are over par again, not under par, and that's, you know, if that's what people want to see, that's what people want to see. If people want to see a birdie fest, then let's just keep it as it is. But I think there's too many, like, obviously people criticising about, you know, the ball's going too far. I don't think it is, because, like I said, play Valderrama, and there's par fives on there that are easily gettable in two, but you don't go for them because the greens are too small and there's too much danger around them, so then you play it as a three-shotter. But you play a hole that's 580, 600, and you lump a drive 320 down there, and then you hit 3-wood just short of the green or something, you know what I mean? There's nothing to it. I don't see the big appeal with hitting, like making the holes longer. I think, you know, I think technology is good at where it is. The only thing I'd say is the ball's changed that much. It's difficult for it, you know, as a pro to manoeuvre it. So generally hitting it offline is difficult. Well, not difficult, but do you know what I mean? If you had a Balata ball and you've hit in a cut, it's going to go. Keep going. With these balls, because you're hitting them, they're cut, and then they lose the spin, then they straighten out. So it's really difficult to hit them miles offline, you know what I mean? Where if you have the older ball, it spun more and you could hit it a long way offline. That's the only difference.
So last year you had your best year at the majors. How do you, when you go into a new season or a new year, how do you prepare for the big four? I mean, you feel like you're ready to make that step up in the game?
Yeah, no, definitely. You know, obviously this year's been a bit of a sticky year for me. You know, I don't feel like I've really had a good run of tournaments schedule-wise. Hasn't really fallen into place for me. I fell outside the top 50, so I missed the players in the US Open that I was scheduling to play. So, but in terms of preparing for them, I mean, that first year I played played 3 majors. That was for me. It felt like trial and error. You know, I tried to have a week off before the Masters. I didn't play very well, didn't work, and then I thought if I play the weeks before, see how that goes, and that seemed to work a little bit better for me. So for me, I'd like to, you know, go into the week before, try and find a bit of form, feel where my game is, and then you know sort of where you're at with going into them. You know, with the one where I had the week off, I practiced really, really hard, but you know, I think there's a big thing about practicing and feeling good to be in tournament ready. You know, when you're in a tournament and you're playing it and you're going through the pressures and hitting different shots under the cosh, I think that's when you know when you're ready, sort of thing, or what you can do and what you can't do. When you're practicing, you know, there's no consequence to it. There's another ball you can hit to try and hit the shot. So I think for me, I always found, you know, if I played the week before, really try and, you know, find some form going into it, that worked better for me going into the majors.
Oh, so which of the 4 majors do you think offers you the best opportunity to break your duck?
Probably the Open. You know, I feel like that's the one that I feel like I can perform at best. I really enjoy the challenges of links golf. You know, really trying to be creative out there, hit different shots. You know, Birkdale this year was, you know, first time I played it was unbelievable. I think it's one of the best golf courses I've ever played, and it's something that I really, really enjoy doing. So I'm hopefully, to be honest, I'd take any of them. I'm not really fussy, but you know, I think the Open probably offers my best chance of doing well in a major.
If I said to you, you can pick which major you're going to win next year, which one would you choose?
The Open.
The Open, just because it's the oldest major and it's. Oh.
You know what? I think for a guy that's born in the UK, I think it just means that so much to you. You know, it's something that I grew up watching on telly. You know, when I was a nipper, and you just see the claret juggers. You know, for me, it's just iconic. You know, obviously. You know, the Masters is so special because of the golf course, and not many people get to play it, and it feels, you know, amazing when you walk in around that golf course. It's just spectacular. But the Open for me, you know, having the UK fans there, it's just such an atmosphere and a buzz for me, and that's the one that for me, if I could have any, that would be the one I'd want.
Finally, I have to ask you about this. 2014, I think KLM Open, hole in one, trip to space.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you're bored of talking about
it.
No. What is that all about? Surely you're just thinking, can't I just have a car like the other guys?
Yeah, no, that's just pretty much standard me. That, you know, if anything outrageous is up for grabs, I seem to get it. So, Yeah, I mean, I think the weirdest thing about that whole week, I played the hole, I birdied it the first 3 days and then holed it on the final day, and it was just, it was one of them greens, it was rock hard, and where the pin was, we didn't think we could get it close anyway, and then it just goes in, and then obviously I didn't realise at the time there was a prize. I thought it was on 17, the space shuttle was, and then I get in, it's like, you've won a trip to space, and I'm like, what am I going to do with that? I mean, why? And then it was crazy, because then you get into the logistics of it and like, oh, you got to train for 6 months. And I'm like, I haven't trained for like a week, so why would I train for 6 months to go to space? And it was just, yeah, I'm quite happy with my feet on the ground.
So what was the idea with it? Like, when was the prize meant to happen? Like, when was the trip to space?
You know what? It was meant to go up. I think it was meant to go up this year sometime, but it's. I don't think it's got up and running or anything like that. I think they've been having like a lot of technical issues with it and stuff. So, yeah, luckily I binned it off quite quickly. I was like, no, right, you can keep it. Give it the mother-in-law. You get up there.
Cut that out.
Yeah, no, send it.
She might be watching. I hear she's a big fan of National Club golfers. So.
Maybe.
Brilliant. All right, Andy, thank
Perfect.
you so much.
Cheers,
really enjoyed
guys.
that. Thank
No
you.
problem.
Cheers.
My pleasure.